What up, traders? What up, investors? Thank you for tuning in today. What are we going to be looking at? Yes, Citron research is at it again. There must be trolling the Wallstreetbets forums because whatever Wallstreetbets is kind of pumping up, we saw that with PLTR. Now they're looking at LAZR, basically giving it a price target well below $20, just like we saw with PLTR. They're saying, let's go ahead and just switch over to the tweet here. Of course, this came out, I don't know, what is this, around 10:42 this morning. It says they're basically saying LAZR is not a casino stock, aka what we saw with PLTR. It's a sucker's game. I'd much rather own an industry leader of VLDR is less than a 4 billion market cap, and Citron expects LAZR back down to 20 and VLDR to 30. So we're gonna be looking at both these stocks. Of course, we're gonna be looking at the post two, of course, from Wallstreetbets, the folks over there. If you're not familiar with it, the nickname for Citron over at Wallstreetbets is Citron, because again, depending on what your viewpoints are on this firm or this research organization, it's a very fine line of grayness of what they can put out. I understand freedom of speech and all this stuff, but when we start talking to stocks and everything, can really just mess up a lot of things. Of course, this individual says, get your opinions in. Of course, everyone goes into just completely Wallstreetbets style kind of analysis, and just basically people are just saying, hey, look what happened to Palantir, PLTR again. Calls or put strike, and everyone just asking for what their positions are. It's been a very fun thing just to kind of look through the absolute madness on how some people really do their trading investment. Of course, this one has gone LAZR has really gone through the roof here. So we can kind of see here on the charts here via Thinkorswim. It is down nearly 7.5% today, nearly. Of course, it's only been public for a very short period of time, literally 4 days, and it came out around 20, skyrocketed up all the way up to 47. Now we're seeing a lot of selling coming in again due to very high evaluations. People just got sick of FOMO, and then everyone tried to take their profits. You can, all these different like formulas and capitulations can really put into the whole fact of like, bust it from the seams here. It's basically a huge water balloon of FOMO, and it's just building and building and building until, guess what, it can't hold it anymore, and then poop, pop goes the weasel, and all the water drains out of the balloon or the weasel, depending on what you like to fill up with water. That being said, we can look at this at a smaller time frame. Let's just go into like an hourly chart. It was somewhat orderly in the sense of the stock going up again. Well, this is only 4 days. 4 days, so 4 days, if you can count 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. And I have all 5 fingers too. That's what was a weird thing. With this movement here, we had that, just nothing coming out on day one. But then you had the folks just churning it, burning it. A lot of people got that FOMO, and it jumped up quite steadily. It was holding the 21 EMA very well. Of course, it came out to the 5 and 8 EMAs as well here on the hourly chart. But then, of course, right around that 10 o'clock, 10:30 time frame, it just took a snapback. And now it's kind of trying to hold the $37 level. If we see some substantial more selling, which we could see, because again, it's going to take some time to get this news and this really large downtick move to a lot of the people that were in it or trading it, potentially be looking at some lower levels, so that we can kind of do our best or due diligence here and kind of looking at some Fibonacci retracements to kind of help us dictate some levels. So a key level to kind of really see and break us out would be around that $39 to $40 level. I'm seeing some support here around 33.82. So we're actually going to put an alert down there just to kind of keep track of that and get rid of this here on seeing how this goes. Basically, if we want the trend to continue, we're going to need it kind of above $41 to $42. We're just going to call it 42. That was also another key Fibonacci retracement that we saw kind of going into this pattern. So basically, it's kind of in this capitulation zone. If the momentum and the overall bullishness in the stock that we saw 2 or 3 days prior wants to continue on this trend, it really needs to hold this 39-ish what is this? Sorry, 37.50 level to really see it potentially going higher from here. With that being said, anything can happen because again, if we go to the 4-hour chart, which is one of my favorite charts to be looking at, it's hitting that parabolic LAZR dot, and guess where that sits at? Right below 37, the high 36s. If it does break this parabolic LAZR dot, it's going to potentially come right down to that $33 to $35 level. And if we see some substantially more selling, we can easily see basically like a 50% price reduction in the stock. And I guess where that lines up. That lines up exactly as well at that 33 to around that $33.50-ish level. So that's going to be a very key level, which I'm actually going to highlight here to really look for a zone. I wouldn't say to buy and just put in your whole portfolio, but just something to kind of keep in mind of like, hey, that box is a little too big. And I'm actually going to change the color because I'm all about color. And I'm going to make this nice little pinkish color to really highlight, to have that pop on there. Like, so if it does come in this range, most likely could bounce around. If it does break through that 33-ish 50 level, we could see some substantially lower prices around $30. So basically that's the overall analysis that we can really do on LAZR here. We're going to be jumping into the other one, the VLDR, which is again the one that that the folks on Citron was saying that this is more worthy, that this is going to be going to 30. So again, they're saying $30. That's going to be right near its high again. Was this a SPAC of some kind? Because it looks very much like a SPAC. Looks like it was a SPAC. Kind of had that like the roller coaster ride here of what we know as the SPACs here. Let's kind of come back down here to a daily chart to kind of give us a better breakdown of what we're looking at here. Of course, it definitely looks like a SPAC. It was. Came up to this very high extreme levels, of which like most SPACs do. People get sick of it. They jump to the next one. They have ADHD and they're like, what's the next SPAC I can put my money behind, blah, blah, blah. They jump off it. The SPAC collapses most likely, like a lot of the times, and it kind of finds some kind of a floor support around its initial first breakout, which is basically around that $14 to $15 level, which we saw again. It did sink substantially through that to the low, almost broke down past $12. So this is going to be a very interesting level to see if we do test that level as well. So we're going to be putting that in as well. Of course, we're going to be doing a quick fib here as well, from here to here. Thank you very much. So key level. So we're currently at the 50 percentile move from the previous swing high to low. And that's again at 21.18. We're at 21.01. Again, the market's still open for another 45 minutes. With that being said, potentially some key levels to be looking at, which we saw potential breakdowns before, was that 23.86 there. So we're going to add that as the first initial marker, and some short-term support is going to be around 18.50, and then down to around that level, which we talked about, 15.20 to like the 14.50 level, all the way to the downside. Again, anything can happen in the market. Just be ready for anything, folks. This is definitely a very, very volatile stuff that we're seeing here. Again, with Citron giving their 2 cents into the overall praise of whatever reason, but this is definitely something to be very mindful about. Don't always let the emotions really dictate on where you want to be trading, and do your own research. Like Google's pretty fantastic tool to get into and really see on what's moving in the market and things like that. Again, let's see if Citron can actually get a couple trades right here, because their PLTR is they're saying it's going to go back down to 20, which it did kind of hit $20. It hit $21, but then this made it a complete about face, and now it's just kind of really ripping, making a really strong V-shaped bottom. Having a little bit of issues here trying to break above 30, which we've noticed and noted on a couple videos before and live stream. So folks, thank you for coming out, watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe down below. If you're interested, we have a Discord chat down below. And if you're interested on trading stocks and options on one of the best platforms that I use, that's Tastyworks. There's an affiliate link down below. So if you're interested on checking that out and supporting the channel, that helps me greatly. Thank you guys. Please take it easy. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.